So apparently, I'm clairvoyant. On the day that the vaccine was first administered, I posted a video in which I predicted that before long, the truth seekers or conspiracy theorists would start screaming. Because as people are being vaccinated and it transpires they're not being killed off in huge numbers or microchipped, then all of the baseless ideas from the truth seekers will be shown to be bullshit. Conspiracies which have been dreamt up on truth seeker message boards, which are nothing other than echo chambers, or alternatively the screaming going on inside their heads. But now they're having to resort to desperate measures in an attempt to save face. Within hours of the first person in the world outside of clinical trials to receive the vaccine, 90-year-old Margaret Keenan, conspiracy nuts were online claiming that she is a crisis actor. If you're unfamiliar with that term, well, according to the deranged thought patterns which conspiracy theorists laughingly call logic, a crisis actor is someone employed in secret by the government or the aliens or our shape-shifting reptilian overlords to stir up general panic amongst the population. And if we join several conspiracies together, then the list of people considered to be crisis actors includes all politicians, everyone in the media, the population of Australia, NASA, all airline pilots, and in England alone, the 1.5 million employees of the National Health Service. Is it just me, or does that sound far-fetched? And for me, I think it's an insult to the brilliant scientists who've come up with this vaccine, and it hasn't been rushed. It's a modified version of the SARS vaccine that's been about since 2012. And here we've seen what science can do when it has unlimited resources and thousands of volunteers. But not only that, the conspiracy theorists are insulting the doctors, nurses, health workers of the National Health Service and around the world, the people who've been working around the clock to keep this bloody awful virus at bay. And worst of all, the truth seekers are literally pissing on the graves of those who've died. So today, I'm not going to be pulling my punches. And I will say anyone peddling this crap is an uneducated, half-wit fucktard. On the first day of vaccination, over 5,000 people received the first injection. And of those 5,000 plus, 2 fell ill. And this meant the tinfoilers went into a frenzy saying it must be deadly. But the 2 people are both NHS employees with a history of having allergic reactions. They both carry the EpiPen. But the odds of having such a severe reaction to a vaccine is 1.4 million to 1. And the odds of dying from this vaccine are 0 because there's nothing alive in it. Most people will feel ill for a day or 2. And that's because when they're injected, the immune system goes, "What the fuck is this?" and diverts everything it can to fight off this alien invasion. When I say alien, I mean it's new to the body, not from up there. The claims that Margaret Keenan is an actress intensified when conspiracy theorists said that she died in 2008. They'd done a search of the records of her hometown of Enniskillen in Northern Ireland and found someone with a similar name had died 12 years ago, but this is the hallmark of the conspiracy theorist. They come up with an unfounded idea and then go conclusion shopping, because what they failed to take into account is that Margaret moved from Enniskillen to Coventry over 60 fucking years ago. Next on the list of proof was that the second person to be vaccinated, a man called William Shakespeare, yes, really, he was vaccinated by the same nurse. So the conspiracy nuts claimed the photos were staged and had been taken months ago. Whereas what actually happened is they were both at the same bloody hospital. Next, the attack shifted to Mr. Shakespeare, with bizarre claims that he's either Bill Gates' father, uncle, or even a clone. Now, if I were related to one of the richest men on earth, I'd be pissed I was still living in Coventry rather than San Francisco. Then came the claim that the truth was being hidden in plain sight, with some conspiracy nuts saying that William Shakespeare is an anagram of Bill Gates. So they're both called William. But in what world can you make Shakespeare from the letters from Gates? Imagine being so sure of yourself, thinking you've discovered some hidden truth whilst also being so utterly fucking retarded. And still, they weren't done. Because of the way that Margaret is holding her hands in this photo, there are claims that she's a member of the Illuminati, the shadowy organisation that doesn't exist. But let's remember, this is the internet, and there are people who believe that this, the OK hand gesture, means that you support white supremacy. Whereas the history of that gesture comes from scuba diving. It means I am okay and my equipment is functioning, not do you fancy going lynching? I've noticed that the microchip crowd, they've all gone quiet. What were they expecting? For a 90-year-old grandmother to become some sort of Manchurian candidate? She'd walk into the local Apple store in a trance-like state, shout Microsoft forever and smash the fuck out of the place with a baseball bat. So William and Margaret and thousands of other elderly people who grew up or fought in the Second World War, endured that and all the hardships which came afterwards, are now the people showing the world that the vaccine is safe. And what do the anti-vaxxers, the COVID deniers and the conspiracy theorists say about them? Well, they're calling them liars and cheats and charlatans. And that shows what utterly vile individuals some conspiracy theorists are. But there's something beautiful in watching them panic as their world collapses around them, as they're exposed as what they are, slightly backward paranoid fearmongers. Last month here in England, a man claimed that the 5G tower near his house, because 5G's mixed in with all this shit, he said it was making him ill, thus proving that 5G is a secret radiation weapon. But it went rather wrong for him when the phone company commented that yes, there is a 5G tower near his house, but they haven't switched it on yet. And just this morning, I was watching a video of an American chap saying that he won't take the vaccine because we don't know what's in it. But he'd recorded this video whilst smoking a cigarette. So he won't take something designed to stop the spread of a global pandemic, but he will willingly inhale something that contains fucking cyanide. Science is winning and conspiracy theorists are losing, and crucially, science doesn't give a shit what they believe in. And when questioned, conspiracy nuts will often say, do your research, not realising that being a researcher is a full-time job, not as they do it, staring at their phone whilst they're having a dump. As ever, thanks for watching.